Welcome back, students. This is your Dean, Count ZVS. Now that we have done with GBL's version of the Great League, we are going into the Ultra League. This league is a bit difficult for most Sylph battlers because they're unfamiliar with the moves and the Pokemon involved and the bulkiness. So I've put forth 3 easy-to-use themes that can help you, let's say, get over this painful Ultra League experience. So how I'm going to show this off to you guys is in a way that you can also, let's say, screenshot this page and then use it as a reference when you're battling. We have your leads, your safe swap, and your closers. So team number 1, the lead is going to be your Drifblim. Why Drifblim? Because it does very well against quite a lot of the opening metas. Basically, it covers quite a bit of the leads that you will face in GBL. So what it's good against is going to be your conventional Venusaurs, Charizards, Galades. It picks up Clefable somehow. It also picks up Togekiss, Dragonite, and Swampert. Why it's a good lead is that if you win a lead, you'll be in a circumstance where you can throw an Icy Wind into the next Pokemon, and which would make that Pokemon less effective against the rest of your team. Things that Drifblim has problems with, which Pokemon basically that you definitely have to switch out of. These are going to be your Snorlaxes, Magnezones, Lapras, Alolan Mox, and Mandibuzz. It's basically Pokemon that can do super effective damage to the Drifblim before you can debuff. Some of the iffy matchups are going to be like Obstagoon, Kingdra, and Empoleon. These are not exactly wins nor exactly loses. You could play it in a different way that against an Obstagoon you can try to get the Obstagoon as low as possible by constantly Icy Winding it and then bring your safe swap Galade to farm down the Obstagoon. This would give your Galade a little bit of extra jumpstart when it's going to hit the next Pokemon. Galade is a safe swap. Why? Because this Pokemon is insane. It has very, very high damage per second. It can flip some of the matches, basically the things that it's supposed to lose with just 1 confusion advantage. This is easily reflected in the fact that it has an 81% win rate against the meta with 1 confusion advantage. And that is something you definitely need. And close combat is amazing to close out matchups or force shields. The Pokemon that I have as a closer for this is a Lapras. Why I'm having the Lapras is because if you look at Drifblim and Galade, this team definitely lacks the bulk to do well. So Lapras is there to give you the bulk and also the potential to, let's say, absorb some energy and try to blow up shields by using Skull Bash. It's also a great closer at the end because if you give the Lapras a shield and a little bit of energy advantage, it can try to pick up the grass closers. There was also a lot of Charizards at the back, and Lapras does very well against Charizards at the back. If you guys want to, let's say, see how this team is played, there's a video out for this, and you can find it linked right about here, somewhere. Professor Lundberger will find a way to put it somewhere here. Team number 2 for us is going to be a team that I really like, and I probably am going to run it for my as my Ultra League team is going to be your Empoleon plus Double Dragons. How this works is basically you have Empoleon, which is going to be this solid anti-fairy counter, and then you have your dragons at the back. Basically, Empoleon is great because it does well against Charizard, let's say Togekiss, Dragonite, Kingdra, Lapras, Drifblim, and also the Mandibuzz. I mean, if people have invested in the Mandibuzz, they're definitely going to bring it. And if you can see it a lot in this this season, then yes, Empoleon does really well. What it's bad against is definitely going to be some of the fighters that you're going to see. Toxicroak, Obstagoon, Escavalier, and also the electric types like Ampharos. Yes, Magnezone, I'm stupid. Magnezone is a problem, but if you force it into the 2 shields, you will win, mostly because of the fact that super debuff Magnezone is not going to be able to take the waterfall damage. Iffy matchups for Obstagoon is going to be Swampert, Abomasnow, Snorlax, and Galade. It can win against Swampert in the 1 shield if you can shield the Earthquake. If the Swampert is running a Sludge Wave, this is an easy win for you. You shouldn't be afraid of playing out against the Swampert. Count, shield once, and then do your best to pull out this matchup. Abomasnow is going to be iffy. If they go straight Energy Ball, you have the potential to win. If they bait you, then you don't win the one shields. So try not to shield the first one and hope you don't get the defense debuff. Other iffy matchups, Snorlaxes, it needs to land the superpower, and Gallade, it needs to land the close combat. So you decide how to play it. Save swap for this team is going to be Kingdra. It is the king of save swaps. Very, very high DPS with Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath is so oppressive as a move that people will be forced to either shield in the end because of your Octazooka and your Outrage nuke possibility, or they shield, they get debuffed, and they get demoralized in the process. It's happened to me quite a lot in Sylph. I hate this Pokemon, but I do love to play it in the Ultra League because it's an amazing save swap. The thing with Kingdra is that it has amazing, let's say, 2 shield matchups, especially if you can go straight Octazookas and try to get the debuff. If you get the debuff, you flip some of the matchups you're definitely supposed to lose. So for this team, I use Dragonite as a closer, mostly because I use the Kingdra to bait out. Let's say if they have a Togekiss in their team, if they have a Clefable in their team, I use the Kingdra to bait it out. Basically, I throw an Octazooka, hope for a debuff. If I don't get a debuff, I let the Kingdra go, come in with Empoleon, shield once, farm it down, and then throw like 2 Drill Pegs or 2 Hydro Cannons and whatever that's going to come back. Dragonite is an amazing closer for this team because of the fact that, let's say, what's going to be left in most teams are going to be the Charizards, the Swamperts, the Gallades. And Dragonite does very, very well against these. Even with a shield deficit, Dragonite can pull off the matchups against Venusaur and Charizard, because Dragon Claw does not kill from a Charizard. It's also a pretty bulky mon, and that's something that you'll have to take into consideration, and you'll learn a little bit more once you play with Dragonite a little bit. All right. The last team that I have in mind is Shadow Dragonite, Shadow Snorlax, and Venusaur. This is a video that was put out by a then rank 25 GBL player, Leandro. The video will be linked again here, and the video for the previous one will be also linked in the previous slide. Yeah, it's my bad. Sorry, I should have said it before. Why we are going to use Shadow Dragonite? Dragonite as a whole is a very oppressive Pokemon. Shadow Dragonite is even more oppressive. Yes, it takes more damage, but the damage it deals out is insane. One of the reasons that it's a good lead, because you see a lot of these Venusaurs, Charizard, Swamperts, Escavaliers lead, and also there's towards the end of the last season you had a very popular lead of Toxicroak, and Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite pretty much easily picks all of these off. The times you will definitely have to bail is when you have a Charm user or a Lapras or an Abomasnow. Now, you cannot play against these because a Shadow Dragonite, as great as it is very glassy in the sense that the Shadow bonus takes your defense away from you. That's where Shadow Snorlax comes in. This is the best save swap in the Ultra League, period. With a few lick advantages, it can even pull off losing matchups. Like against the Venusaur, it can go straight Body Slam and pick up that matchup. You can also, depending on the movesets you run, you can run Superpower. That's basically for the mirror. You can also, I've also seen Shadow Snorlaxes running Outrage. I've been outraged before, and I've been very, very, very sad. But yeah, that's the reason. It's bulky. It's very bulky. It has high DPS, mostly because lick damage. There are not a lot of Pokemon other than Obstagoon that's resisting lick, and also of course your position Snorlax will also resist lick. Most of the Pokemon in the meta do not resist lick, so it does quite a bit of damage. And with moves like Body Slam, and which is heavily very spammy, it becomes like a spam monster basically. You can flip matchups. You can also try to play the two versus one shield matchup and then try to win switch. Closer for this team is Venusaur. Mostly why Venusaur is there is because if you look at this team, you'll see, what do I have if I what can I do if there's a Charmer at the back? You can't do much because your superpower Snorlax is not going to do the role of the closer. Your Dragonite is definitely not going to do anything against a Charmer. You also don't have a big answer to, let's say, the Laprases and some other fighters that you'll probably see in this meta. because Sludge Bomb is not resisted by a lot of the Pokemon in this meta. I think the only one that can do pretty much okay and really well against Venusaur is going to be an Alolan Muck. But even Alolan Muck takes a lot of damage from Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant is an OP move, and hopefully they never debuff it, ever. Thank you, Niantic. That's all there is to it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you have ideas or teams or sets that you are willing to share with us, we'll definitely put them out into the channel. All you have to do is go down to our description box, click the Google form, fill it up with your details, and we will contact you. As I said before, this channel is for the community and by the community, and you are the community. So we are definitely going to do whatever it takes to help you learn more and grow along with us. Thanks a lot for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.